hay por aquí. Bien, liofilizados de lana. Más comidas de Ana. Mira, toda una semana, A ver si puede con ella. La mía, más liofilizados. Y ahora empieza lo bueno, las chucherías, chocolatinas, galletas, frutos secos. Oh, leche condensada. Más galletas, un poco de mejillones. Lo mejor de la semana, el embutido, el quesito, el barra dolsa. Y bueno, y más chucherías, que aquí parecen mucho, pero en 3 días ya no queda nada. Y luego pan y agua. Y más chocolate. Y más chucherías. Bueno, eso es todo. Se acabó.
Welcome to the Barcelona World Race on Tuesday, March the 10th. Leader Cheminée Pujolat last night crossing the equator at 9:50 UTC and currently making slow headway north in typical doldrum conditions. Second and third place Neutrogena and Gaia Centros Aldativos in the trade wind zone, but still experiencing quite light pressure and relatively sedate boat speeds. Fourth and fifth placed We Are Water and One Planet One Ocean Farmaton still joined at the hip as they steam away from the Falkland Islands at over 17 knots. Renault Captur today crossed Cape Horn at 11:48 UTC, having experienced gusty west-northwesterlies on their final approach and passing about 2.5 miles offshore. Spirit of Hungary, 14-knot winds and 15-knot boat speeds for them, making good progress east. But today it's Jorg Weechers and Sebastian Audigan who clock up another Great Cape rounding. Looking at the position rankings for day 69 of the Barcelona World Race, Cheminée Pujolat now sailing at 1 degree north and making 7 to 9 knots in some fairly unstable doldrum conditions. Second place Neutrogena and Gaia Centros Aldativos in third, still in quite light winds in the trades this morning, also sailing at 7 or 8 knots. In contrast, We Are Water and One Planet One Ocean Farmaton both flying along at over 17 knots this morning. William Bruno Garcia clocked up the biggest mileage in the fleet with 375 miles in past 24 hours. That's 100 miles more than Gaius, although there's still a big deficit between them of over 1,500 miles. Renault Captur this morning sailing at around 14 knots as they approached Cape Horn in severe conditions, and Spirit of Hungary reporting over 40-knot wind speeds and big waves this morning, but making good boat speed with an average of around 15 knots.
Ah bah ça va bien, hein. Il va faire chaud, ça c'est sûr. Et là on a passé, je pense, une bonne partie du bourrier, donc du poteau noir, donc tout va bien. C'est pas encore très très stable, on va dire, hein, pour le moins qu'on puisse dire. Mais ça va le devenir de plus en plus, puis on va retrouver les alizés du Nord. Ah bah c'est bien, hein. C'est une étape quoi. Parce qu'on est parti de l'hémisphère Nord, mais quand même 80% du parcours c'est dans l'hémisphère Sud, donc si tu veux, puis nous quelque part, bon, on habite dans l'hémisphère Nord, donc en plus le départ est l'hémisphère Nord, donc voilà, c'est une étape quoi, une étape franchie quoi. Là c'est vachement agréable, c'est de pouvoir tenir debout, de pouvoir. Hier on a enlevé la casquette, parce que sinon on est toujours à moitié comme. On est comme des petits vieux avec complètement baissé, ça doit faire 1m20 sous la casquette, donc en permanence comment plier quoi. C'est surtout les positions quoi, sinon c'est tout pour se déplacer, il faut s'accrocher, il faut se tenir, donc là c'est plutôt reposant. Là il y a de la lune, t'imagines, il n'y a pas de mer, ça va. J'ai jamais fait un tour du monde aussi rapidement, ça c'est sûr. Déjà pour commencer. Bernard oui, parce que lui il était avec Orange, donc là c'est encore autre chose. On est déjà à l'équateur et puis au final, tu vois, on est quand même après quand c'est toujours la même, hein. C'est-à-dire que quand tu as fait un tour du monde, après quand tu arrives au Brésil, l'équateur, tu as l'impression que c'est vraiment que l'Europe c'est la porte à côté quoi. C'est vrai que quand tu passes de l'Afrique du Sud à l'Australie, à la Nouvelle-Zélande, Argentine, c'est quand même des grandes distances, quoi. Finalement, quand tu es à l'équateur et que tu vois l'Europe là en haut, et que tu fais des routages, tu t'aperçois que 15 jours après, tu es là-haut en fait. En fait, voilà, c'est une notion de distance, etc. Tu vois, change avec la course, enfin, pour ma part, toujours.
In stark contrast to life in the freezing south, Jonicam and Bernard Stam are experiencing very hot tropical conditions in first place. The pair, who crossed the equator shortly before 10 o'clock last night, are in doldrum conditions with unstable breezes and lots of sargasso seaweed thrown in, as well as other wildlife to enjoy. Jean told us how yesterday they were able to slide back the protective deck cover on board Cheminée Puiglat for the first time in several weeks, and that it was very refreshing to be able to stand up straight and to move around the boat without having to permanently cling on. Jean commented that this felt like his fastest round-the-world journey yet. He's previously circumnavigated the world twice in an Imoca 60 sailing solo, and although they had almost 3,000 miles to sail to the finish, psychologically, once you have crossed the equator, the remaining miles to the finish seem very short. They are thinking in terms of arriving in Barcelona in a fortnight's time, which would potentially see them rounding the world in just over 80 days.
We have quite difficult and tough conditions at the moment. Outside there is 38 to 48 knots of wind from southwest. It's a good progress, but really tough sailing. Big waves, very aggressive new waves, and not easy life on board. Basically, we are happy because we have good wind and good progress to east at the moment towards the Cape Horn, but the conditions are quite tough and we are fighting. We had, of course, more problems like all the time in these conditions, but we solved these problems, and right now we are sailing with 13 to 22 knots of speed. This is quite tough, and the boat is moving very much, so the life is not easy on board. So anyway, we are okay. And right now we had a big wave, and since more than a day, almost 2 days, we have strong southwesterly wind, and now we have about 4 or 5 meters of wave. Sometimes the boat lays down, and after that, of course, keeps going. As we could follow the weather forecast, we will have the same wind for the next 2-3 days, and maybe a little bit lighter conditions close to the Cape Horn. Fortunately, our autopilot is working perfectly and not having to go out and feel it would be very difficult because outside is very cold. The water is very cold and the air also very cold, less than 10 degrees and freezing cold. So if we are going out for sail changes or any kind of work, half an hour is pretty enough from these conditions. So I don't think about the end of this task because it's not the end. When we rounded the Cape Horn will be end, but you're not also after the Cape Horn, after the Falkland Islands can be tough conditions. So not only until the Cape Horn is a couple of days after the Horn will be also deep in the south and can be very tough. I don't think about how it will end. Let's talk about that.
We caught up with Nandor Farr on Spirit of Hungary, Nandor and Conrad Coleman reporting very cold conditions, no more than 8 or 10 degrees of air and water temperature, together with 38 to 48 knot wind speeds and severe waves of 4 to 5 metres. However, Nandor reports that although conditions were difficult, they were making good progress to the east and have also continued to develop as a team. He explained that they were talking things through much less as they understood each other much more intuitively after 2 months living and sailing together. Still, the pair is looking forward to the punishing conditions they're currently experiencing easing as they approach Cape Horn. Nandor estimates they will reach the third Great Cape in about 5 days' time, with lighter winds and improved conditions forecast. But he's refusing to look too far ahead. The Southern Ocean has a lot of opportunities to deal them another tough hand over the next week, with around 1,600 miles still to go. Nandor, who has rounded Cape Horn 3 times previously, is also very aware that even after rounding the Horn, you haven't yet escaped the clutches of the Deep South, and the area around the Falkland Islands can also be particularly challenging.
Situation for the Barcelona World Race. For the leader Pujula, Cheminée Pujula, passed equator yesterday night in the evening, and now it was this night and this morning in the area a little bit difficult with the convergence of the two systems, north and south. So we expect to have quickly a trade wind from northeast. So it's a good opportunity to him to come very quickly in north situation. About Neutrogena and Gaes, they are separate with 150 miles together. Actually, they have better condition because they are with good trade wind from east system, so better speed to go to the north to come back to equator zone. About one planet, one ocean, and we are water. They are very close, like 24 hours ago. Very good match racing between these two boats. A little advantage of speed for We Are Water since a few hours. They are still in the good northwest system, around 20-25 knots. So good speed for these two boats. It's why they are obliged to be close to the Antarctic exclusive zone, and later they will get better condition to go quickly in the north again. About Renault has a really difficult night last night because very strong low pressure to come to the Capron. So last night was very rough with big winds from 50-60 knots in the gust. So a very special night for the two guys in this boat. They are not past Capon for the moment. They will pass Capon around 12 o'clock in a few hours. So the sea is better for the moment. It's just the wave are with the wind because the wind passes northwest to the west, but we can expect big gusts to 50 knots again in the 2-3 hours coming. So it's not finished for them. We have to be very careful of them. About Spirit of Hungary is in a good system with low pressure in the south, so now it can be quickly way to the Capron with good system of wind, and is around 35-40 knots of southwest, so good speed, and we can expect it will arrive to Capron the 14th of March.
Three months at sea. 3 months of racing. 3 months of intense effort. The Imoca racing boats must be light, so there's no kitchen or fridge on board. Welcome to the world of freeze-dried food.
L'oliofilitzat és un plat ja acabat, a la qual li hem extret tot el que és la part humida, tota l'aigua, per un procés de congelació i buit.
To provide the skippers with the tastiest food possible, 2 restaurants, Les Cols and El Cellar de Can Roca, have created a series of signature dishes of freeze-dried food for the skippers during the race.
Posem aquí els productes a liofilitzar i a partir d'aquí la connexió amb la màquina el que fa és anar extraient a poc l'aigua per baixa pressió i va parar en uns dipòsits. Trigaríem més o menys en programes establerts d'unes 48 hores aproximadament i a partir de 48 hores ho traiem i ja anem a empaquetar-ho.
Com que sempre quan el proves és en situacions una mica extremes en quant a cansanci o en quant a fred, realment és una alegria, no? Perquè t'estàs menjant quelcom calent, quelcom confortable en un ambient no molt propici per això, no?
The only thing they need to do is add boiling water, stir and wait 5 minutes for the water to be absorbed.
El que ells ens anaven transmetent molt és que volien productes frescos, perquè tot el que tenien al mercat eren productes molt guisats, que al final et cansaven molt, perquè arribaven a tenir tots un gust molt similar. I en canvi no hi havia res del que en diem dieta mediterrània.
Muy bueno. No sé qué lo que era, pero estaba bueno. Un gusto particular, pero está buenísimo.
Partim d'elaboracions tradicionals, elaboracions que podem tenir en el menú degustació del restaurant Les Cols, Nosaltres hem intentat donar-li diferents aspectes. Un és el gust, evident, que siguin propostes molt genuïnes, autèntiques i que es trobi gust a l'elaboració.
Fácil de cocinar, hay mucha variedad y bueno, al final uno se acostumbra, ¿no?
El resultat és super satisfactori. Conserva el gust i conserva les seves propietats.
Ara, aquest sobret té 1.080 calories. A veure si te l'acaben.
És interessant oferir una proposta genuïna, autèntica, sui generis, que per l'esportista navegant en aquest cas, doncs, quan se l'estigui menjant, realment li donem un petit toc d'alegria o es pugui evadir una mica, no?, quan està menjant oleofilitzat al mig de l'oceà.
The production of freeze-dried food is greatly improving, but although practical and quite tasty, it comes as no surprise that eating out of a packet can grow quite tiring. And for this very reason, little pleasures like these taste even better.